on the homeowner's best friend.
We hear a lot about warranties and length of time. And it was the Arizona Paint Company that schooled Rosie Romero. For the first 30 years I was on air, I told people, if you have a stucco home, you need to paint it every 5 to 7 years. Mm-hmm. But y'all schooled me.
Oh, you're being very kind.
Yeah.
It really was this new product that came around. It was called Duration, and it's phenomenal. It's a much higher build product, and so the biggest difference between that and most other paints is the volume solid content is higher. And so basically,
you can almost tell the difference lifting a 1-gallon can of regular paint and lifting a can of this paint. It's heavier.
It is much heavier, and it goes on so much thicker. It goes on twice as thick. And if you try to put on, let's say, a different paint that thick, it would just start running and having issues, right?
That's a handsome job.
Exactly. No one wants paint runs all over the house.
So what are y'all warranting this product at? What do y'all stand as your recommendation of, with this product installed correctly? What kind of life expectancy are y'all expecting for that paint job?
Yeah, so we have, 3 different products that we mostly use on exteriors. We have Latitude, we have Duration, and we have Emerald Rain Refresh. And with Duration, we do 10 years, and that is a very thick one-coat system where you spray and back roll.
It took a while for you to convince me. I was very skeptical.
Yeah.
But it is.
Yeah, no, and it's absolutely phenomenal. And the great thing is with Emerald Rain Refresh, which is a product that Sherwin-Williams has had for a long time, we're able to do that for 15 years. And you might say, wow, that sounds crazy, right? But it really is just a much higher end product that has a lot of these other stabilizers and other things and color retention that they've added to make sure that even when the sun is here, you get very minor fading over time. Obviously, you'll get natural sun fading, but it really helps with all those kind of things where your house can still look good for 15 years.
In my truck, I usually keep a mechanic's red, like you get at O'Reilly Auto Parts, you know, the package of red auto mechanic. There's usually 1 or 2 of those in my glove box or under the seat or something. And when people challenge me on that, I just go get that red rag and I just rub it on the outside of their house. And all the chalk that, because very few homes are painted red. So
it's true.
All the chalky and the UV burned, it's all on that rag.
Yep.
I said, this isn't waterproof. You're not protecting anything with the current paint job you've got on this house.
Exactly. And that's something we run into commonly, right? Most people, they're painting their house when they get that dreaded HOA letter, right? Which no one likes to get those, right? I know I've gotten a couple in my lifetime, and I work for a painting company. So, but yeah, when you get that letter, we always wipe our hand on every side of the house just to see how chalky it is, right? And then there's a special sealer you use. It's called Seal Creator Luxon Conditioner. And what you do is you put that on and it helps seal in all of that chalkiness. Even after you pressure wash, some of that's still there. So if you're ever painting your exterior and you decide not to go with a professional, you'll definitely want to use a product like that to make sure your house doesn't start peeling in a year or 2.
And I had to stop my neighbor a couple of years ago. I said, look, when you're pressure washing the house to get ready to paint it, the stucco texture shouldn't be coming off.
Yeah, no, it should not. That means you waited too long to repaint your house.
You've got the nozzle too close, the pressure turned up too high. You're not trying to get the stucco off the wall. You're just trying to take that UV burned layer off.
Exactly. And the only time you really want to be taking, if you're washing how you should and stucco's falling off, you'll definitely want to call a stucco professional.
Absolutely. All right.
That leads me to a question. At what point when you're looking at a stucco house, do how far does the painting license cover you on doing stucco repairs? Is it just aesthetic cracks, or if you've got let's say a dent in the wall from a lawnmower or something like that, how big of a stucco repair can painting contractor license cover?
Yeah, so that's a really good question. We can do pretty extensive repairs, right? And our guys are very trained. We have specific groups that are very trained in stucco repair to make sure we're doing that right. It's a really big deal to match it as best as possible. There's, as you know, there's like 10, 20, 50 different kinds of textures out there, just like paint colors.
Each texture can have its own look depending on the applicator.
Exactly. And so a lot of these are very unique. You have skip trowel, which is one of the most common, which is that feeling when you apply it by hand. And so getting the right thickness or thinness is a really big deal. But we can do pretty extensive cracks, right? But if you want it to be 100% uniform, like you didn't notice, you'd want a stucco company to restucco that whole side of the wall.
Rosie on the house, every Arizona homeowner's best friend.